I'm Hunter.
And I'm Jennifer.
We are Unbreakable Faith. Today we're kicking off day number 9 of the Bible recap. Start real quick with a quick summary overview of each of the chapters. If you read them, you kind of summarize it yourself. So in chapter 21, Job is responding to Zophar. At this point, Job's still being mocked, and he's tired of being mocked. Like he's really fed up with it.
Yep.
Considering that he knows he hasn't done anything, and he still insists that he has not done anything. They still don't care.
Yeah,
They don't care. Like they still got Job locked in this box of this is what you did, or this is what your kids did, and that's why this happened. It's y'all's fault. Job talks some in 21 about how the wicked people aren't getting punished. They're having a good life, even though they're away from God. And he's questioning God, like, why don't you punish them? And then that's what Eliphaz comes in and he responds to Job. He starts by saying, how can anything we do help God? Like, how can any of the good things that we do be beneficial to God? Because we're like worms. Like, we're not wholly good people. Like, there's nothing we could do that God can take from that and be pleasing to Him and helpful to Him. And then he calls Job out that he's being pious. Like, he's thinking he's just up on his high horse, like that. It's just ridiculous that he is being that way. And he says maybe that's the reason why you're suffering. Like, because you're thinking too highly of yourself, like, kind of as high as God or above God, which Job's never even said anything close to that. And Job definitely thinks that he's definitely above his friends, that's for sure, because they're speaking nonsense. He's told him that.
Yeah.
In 23, Job responds to Eliphaz, and he first starts with stating his case. Like he wants to state his case with God, but he can't find him. So he doesn't. He responds a little bit to Eliphaz, but not a whole bunch. He kind of just basically brushes him off, like whatever, dude. Like I got bigger things I need to worry about. But he can't find God anywhere, which he's praying to God, and he's not getting responded to. He's just waiting for that prayer to be answered. And I know a lot of people have been there. A lot of people are probably there at this moment. Like, God, where's my response? Where's my answer? I've been praying about this thing for months now, and nothing has changed. Nothing has happened. Maybe tomorrow it happen. Keep faith. And that's where Job is. He's just going to keep his faith. But he wants something to happen because he trusts God and he knows that God sees that he hasn't done anything.
Well, yeah, and right now he's saying he can't see God, though. He can't find him anywhere. He's like, I'm looking all around, can't find this guy.
And he's feeling abandoned by God.
Yeah.
Like, God is just gone, just forgot about me. Cut him off from his inheritance and just let him have his suffering.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to dig into our questions then.
Yes, we are.
All right. So let's get in to day 9. So, our first question for day 9. In chapter 21, Job not only wrestles with why bad things have happened to him, but he also wrestles with why good things happen to the wicked. Which idea troubles you more and why? This was a good question.
So in 21 verse 9, it says, "Their homes are safe from every fear, and God does not punish them." Then again in 13, it states, "They spend their days in prosperity, then go down to the grave in peace."
So, which one did you struggle with?
So both of them actually.
Yeah.
Like that, it's kind of hard. Like bad people, evil people are getting just this joy-filled life. Like that's hard. Like think about like in the sense of somebody that has killed somebody, like on purpose. Like they wanted just to kill that person because they just wanted to. Like they just get to have a good life. A child predator or anything like that doing something like that, and they're okay. Like they don't go to jail. They don't do. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just like, yeah, whatever. You're okay. Like I struggle with that, but I know it's because they have no fear of God. If they had even a little bit of fear of God, they wouldn't do the things that they're doing. So at the end of the day, they don't know God. So we already know where they will go. They go to hell. They can have a good life here, but it ain't no party in hell. It's not a party.
Yeah.
Like it's eternal damnation, pain, suffering. They'll be tortured every day, every second of every day. That is a little bit refreshing if you think about it like that.
I guess. I think I struggle more with the, why the good things happen to the bad instead of both. I think, but it's just because in those times where it feels like you're doing everything right and everything that you're supposed to, why does somebody who's cutting corners, get the reward or the success that you are trying and you're striving for? And it's like that's not happening. Why? It feels very unfair in those moments, and it's, hard to kind of understand
What you just said
why.
kind of made me think about how there's a person, God favors them, that means the devil also favors them.
Yeah.
So the people doing good for God, they're favored by the devil too.
Yeah.
Like the devil comes after those that are trying to do what God wants them to do, to
Yeah.
make them lose their life. But it's kind of not the same if that person's doing bad. God does come to them, but he doesn't give them anything extra. Or maybe that's not the right word, but like they're living for the devil, so devil doesn't do anything bad to them. They have a great life on earth to keep them away from God. It's like a block out from God. God can't get to them because there's there shielding them.
Yeah.
Because the devil gave them all this good stuff. He's letting them have the good prosperity and the good life, the riches and everything they could ever ask for. Because they have those material things, they don't need to look back at God and be like, God, my life isn't going so great.
Number 2 says, given that things seem unfair, how does that speak to the notion of karma? What truths from Scripture seem to correspond or contradict the idea of karma? So,
Just based off of what it was saying, karma does not exist.
yeah, it's if it if it did exist, then those that are doing bad wouldn't be receiving good, and those that are doing good wouldn't be receiving bad. Because you can't say, out of like 13, like let's just say 13 years, you're doing all this great stuff, but you're constantly having this bad stuff. And someone's like, oh, that's karma. Karma for what? For karma is supposed to be done because you did something bad, or you get good because you're doing good things. So if you spent 13 years doing good things and then you're getting constant bad, where's your bad stuff?
There's no such thing as karma.
Yeah.
I mean, good people get bad things. Good people get good things. Bad people get good things. Bad people get bad things.
Yeah.
It's just God didn't make this world after the fall to be sunshine and rainbows. We broke the world when we sinned and fell from the garden. If the fall doesn't happen, everything on earth is a paradise. Everything's perfect. That's how it was intended, but we broke it and we shattered that. So now all the bad stuff that happens also happens with the good stuff. It's like, I guess, kind of like yin and yang almost, but not like good and bad together. You have to have both to make it good.
You can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
So I think it goes back to we're not supposed to understand everything.
No.
Like, these things happen. They clearly are happening for a reason. We don't know what the reason is. The reason could be displayed years from now, if at all. We may never know, but God clearly has a reason for why he's doing something or delaying something. And just like, a lot of times too, maybe the things that you think that you're wanting or going after that you think would be a great thing for your life, maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe it would be something.
Maybe in the first couple years it's great.
Yeah.
First couple years after that, not so much.
Yeah.
Maybe it sends you down a bad road. Like you meet the wrong person or you do the wrong thing, and now your life is completely chaotic, or just you don't believe in God or something. Like you went from believing in God to not believing because all this bad stuff happened to you because you got exactly what you wanted when you wanted it. We have to give God his time to do what he wants with it.
Yeah.
It's in God's time, not ours.
Number 3 says in chapter 22, verses 13 to 14, Eliphaz falsely accuses Job of calling God ignorant and impotent. Look back at Job's words in chapter 19. Find at least one place where he said the opposite of what Eliphaz claims.
So in 19, verse 8, he says, God has blocked my way so I cannot move. He has plugged my path into darkness. He has stripped me of my honor, and he removed the crown from my head. And again in 28 to 29, Job says, how dare you go on prosecuting me, saying it's his own fault? You should fear punishment yourself, for your attitude deserves punishment. Then you will know that there is indeed a judgment.
And then 1925, he says, but as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand upon the earth at last. So, I mean, he knows.
Yeah, he doesn't ever call God anything like that.
Not ignorant or impotent. He knows that he puts God up here on this pedestal.
I mean, maybe that's that voice that the dude said he was hearing.
Yeah.
The voice that I think that he heard is actually Satan or somebody working with him, because God told him that he could do whatever he wanted. Doesn't limit it to talking to somebody and telling him to make this dude suffer more.
Yeah. Number 4 are Job's words in chapter 23, verse 14. more terrifying or more comforting to you, and why?
Verse 14 says, "So he will do to me whatever he has planned. He controls my destiny." That's extremely comforting.
Yeah, knowing that he has a plan for us.
He has a plan. It's already mapped out. It's already completed. Like, all you gotta do is take the steps.
Yeah. Well, see, and I also think, like, for me, like, it's very terrifying to surrender that control, um, you know, in order to accomplish his will. It's, terrifying to let that go because I struggle with that.
Yeah.
But that is all for today's questions. All right, so we are in our journal now. We're going to go, and we have the things you loved, learned, and noticed. So I have Job keeps telling them that he has followed God. So he keeps telling them, I've done everything that God wants me to do. So I'm not sure why I'm being punished. So I noticed that he keeps repeating this to his friends, and his friends just aren't listening.
I've just noticed, like, how Job was saying that evil don't get punished. Like, not that I, like, seeing it back in his time versus now, like, there's a different understanding of it. It just makes you really think about it. Like, I do see that more evil people don't get punished even now. Like, all the stuff that's happening in, like, Hollywood and all that, they rarely get a punishment. But if just a common person does it, that's nobody, they get the book slapped at them.
Yeah.
And just because you're rich and famous, you don't have anything to worry about. I mean, it's a thinking point for sure.
Yep.
Which
It is.
I think most of the Bible, they want you to think about it.
Yeah, you're supposed to dive into it.
Yeah.
Any questions or things that you want to research? So I didn't have anything for this, but
Yeah, I didn't either.
no.
Not that I could think of right now.
Okay, my God shot for today is that God is still at work even when I can't see him, and that he is the way out. Okay, any yours?
My God shot is just keep faith. Faith is the answer to any trial that we go through.
Mm-hmm. I think it's easier for you sometimes. Like, it may not be easier all the time, but like for me, like where I'm just starting to build faith, like it kind of comes in question of, like, what is faith? How do I get that? Like, how do I just, he's got this. Like, you just keep saying it over and over again until it's like a habit, or you know what I mean? Like,
Could be.
so it's definitely a harder thing on my end right now, like trying to get there. But
So you look at it like your parents. Like, if you ask your dad to do something, you know he's gonna do it.
yeah,
God's our father. Parents try not to fail their children.
yeah,
God's the ultimate parent. He will never fail his children.
yeah.
Where our parents fail, he never does.
Okay, that makes a little bit more.
Yep.
Like,
You could thank my uncle for that faith that I got.
yeah.
Yep. Seeing him with his faith, it made me have a good foundation for mine.
Well, that's okay though, because I see your faith.
Yep.
So, and it makes me want to get there. So
Faith
eventually,
builds faith.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Now you can start with just a little bit of faith, just like Jesus says, the grain of a mustard seed can move a mountain.
Yeah.
It just takes a little bit. I mean, there's definitely days that I don't have much faith.
But just that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our quote of the day is, in the grand scheme of things, don't we want God to call us out of our sin? It's His kindness that prompts us to repent. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely would like to be called out, or what? So it's technically like you're being convicted at that
Yeah,
point.
if you ever
Like,
feel remorse after you've done something wrong, or even something that isn't socially wrong or anything like that, but you're like, I shouldn't have done that. That's conviction. That's God saying, hey, I saw you, you saw you. Say you're sorry.
yeah, yeah, He weighs it on you.
And that's where you can judge if you're going towards God or not, too. Like if you're feeling wrong about the little things that you're doing that are bad, that shows that you are trying to listen to God. Because evil people don't listen to God.
Yeah.
They have no fear of God. Like, so it doesn't matter if they do something big wrong or something little wrong. But us as Christians, if you're really following the faith, even the small things like telling a lie, like to your kids, I feel bad telling little white lies to the kids just to make them do something that needs to be done for them, like brushing their teeth or whatever it is, you know? We are Unbreakable Faith. Thank you for joining us, and we will be seeing y'all next time. God bless you.